Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolfe Pit. Recently, I made some amazing Korean-style barbecue beef, along with a lot of other stuff I cooked that day. So I ended up with a lot of leftovers. So like you've heard me say before, I not only love eating leftovers, but I also love using leftovers to make new recipes. You've also heard me say, when making atomic buffalo turds, also known as ABTs, or simply bacon-wrapped jalapeno poppers, you can make them plain with cream cheese, or with leftover meat or vegetables. The only thing that limits what you can put into an ABT is your imagination. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm making bacon-wrapped jalapeno poppers stuffed with diced-up Korean-style barbecue beef. Originally, it didn't sound like a great combination, but in the end, I was really happy with how they turned out. So let's get started. In a large mixing bowl, add 8 ounces of room temperature cream cheese. And please don't use light or no-fat cream cheese. These are wrapped in bacon after all. If you're worried about fat and calories, run around the block for every popper you eat. Then add 8 ounces of the chopped up Korean-style beef, and then about a quarter cup of shredded cheese. You can use any kind of cheese you like. I'm using the fancy pre-shredded Colby Jack cheese, which I think mixes a lot better than the coarser grated cheeses. Of course, you can shred your own cheese if you like, but like I've told you before, I'm lazy. The fancy shredded cheese also melts a little bit better. You use whatever kind of cheese you like. You could also sprinkle in a little bit of your favorite barbecue rub too, but I think this meat had enough seasoning already. Now give it all a good mix until it's well combined. Once the filling is thoroughly mixed, you want to cut the peppers in half lengthwise, and then using a teaspoon, scoop out all the seeds and the membrane. I've already done this step because I don't feel you guys need to see it every time I make ABTs. But there will be a link in the description box on how to cut these up the right way. And also, when it's possible, I like to leave the stems on because they serve as little handles. And it also makes them look like little burnt mice when they're done. And when they look like little burnt mice, that comes into your favor, because it's probably unappetizing to some people to eat a burnt mouse. So that means they'll bypass the ABTs, which therefore leaves more for you. Once all the jalapenos are cut and cleaned out, you want to slightly overstuff each pepper half. And then continue that process until they're all stuffed. Once all the poppers are stuffed, it's time to wrap them in bacon. And for me, the key to holding everything together and getting crispy bacon is to use the cheapest, thinnest bacon you can find. I almost always use the generic store brand bacon. But you can try different types of bacon to see what works best for you. But here's some advice from me. To you, the people, don't use thick cut bacon. It just takes too long to crisp up, it unravels and won't hold together without a toothpick, and by the time it finally does crisp up, your jalapenos turn to mush. Once all the jalapenos are stuffed and wrapped, I like to put them into the fridge for at least an hour to firm up. Or you can leave them overnight. You can actually make these a day or two ahead of time. Now I almost always cook these over indirect heat on a grill or a smoker. But if you don't have a grill or smoker, you can cook these on a raised rack in your oven. And also, for some ungodly reason, if you don't want to wrap them in bacon, once you get back from the mental hospital, you can roll them in breadcrumbs, or crushed up tortilla chips, or those French's crispy fried onions that you put on top of green bean casseroles. Or better yet, you can wrap them in pizza dough and make jalapeno pizza poppers. Like I said before, just use your imagination with what you want to stuff them with and what you want to wrap them with. Today I'm going to cook these ABTs on my Grill-A-Grill Silverback pellet grill with applewood pellets. And just like before, this is just like operating your oven. You hit the power button to turn the Silverback on, then set the temperature to 250 degrees, then close the lid and let it come up to temperature. Once the Silverback was settled in at 250 degrees, I put the rest of the leftover Korean-style barbecue beef in a pan with more of the gochujang barbecue sauce. Then I wrapped it up to enjoy along with the poppers later. And I also had a 5-pound chicken in the fridge to cook for lunches during the week, so I decided to throw it on too. I made a simple paste with olive oil and Greek seasoning. Then it was thoroughly massaged into the chicken. Then the chicken went on the grill with the poppers and the Korean-style barbecue beef. Once the poppers are done and I take them off, I'll turn the heat up on the Silverback to crisp up the skin on the chicken. Now close the lid and let everything cook at 250 degrees or until the Korean-style barbecue beef is warmed through and the bacon on the ABTs is rendered down and gotten crispy. After reheating for a little over an hour, our Korean-style barbecue beef was ready to enjoy while the poppers continued to cook. And the Korean-style barbecue beef was as good or better than the first time I ate it. After another hour, for a total of 2 hours, our ABTs were ready, and they were looking and smelling really good. Once the poppers were taken off, I took a look deep down inside the bird cave. Then I cranked the heat up to 325 degrees to crisp up the skin. Now let's go eat some poppers, ABTs, stuffed jalapeno poppers, etc., whatever you want to call them. Or you can just call them delicious. And there you have it. Korean-style barbecue beef, atomic buffalo turds. And they looked and smelled great. But the proof is in the pudding. Pepper. If you've never made atomic buffalo turds, there's one thing you need to keep in mind when you make them. Always make more than you think you'll need, because they go fast. There's 12 ABTs here between 3 people, and they lasted for about 4 minutes. And these turned out fantastic. They were creamy, beefy, salty, with a slight sweet and spiciness from the gochujang barbecue sauce. It was a perfect combination of flavors that perfectly complemented each flavor nicely. Once we wolfed the ABTs down, our chicken was done, and it was smelling incredible. And it actually didn't look too bad either. So I stuck the tongs where the sun don't shine and removed the bird. And just look at that crust. Is that beautiful or what? That's a non-stop one-way ticket to Flavor Town. Even though this video wasn't really about the chicken, I had to try a quick piece before turning the camera off. You know, for a little pitmaster privilege, as Bob Allgreen calls it. And also, like Bob says, it tastes good. There's a quick shout out to one of the best and probably the original barbecue channel on YouTube. I'm not sure this cook could have turned out any better. If you'd like to help support the Wolf Pit, consider being a patron. You can pledge as little as $1 a month. That's only $12 for the whole year. Or you can pledge more. That's up to you. Either way, every little bit's appreciated and helps me produce more high-quality videos more often for you, the people. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you give this a try. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.